How will the end of the world be according to the Bible? This question has intrigued humanity for centuries. The Bible, a book rich with prophecies and profound mysteries, offers a detailed and often chilling account of the end times. In today's video, we're going to delve deep into these ancient scriptures, exploring the signs, events, and ultimate fate of our world as foretold by biblical prophets. Prepare yourself for a journey through the apocalyptic visions that have both fascinated and terrified believers for generations. We begin our journey in the New Testament, where the book of Revelation, also known as the Apocalypse of John, provides a vivid and symbolic portrayal of the end times. Written by John the Apostle, Revelation is filled with powerful imagery and prophetic visions. It's here that we encounter the four horsemen of the apocalypse, who are said to bring conquest, war, famine, and death upon the world. Each horseman represents a different aspect of human suffering and serves as a harbinger of the coming tribulation. The first horseman rides a white horse and is often interpreted as a symbol of conquest or false peace. This figure is described as wearing a crown and holding a bow, signifying a leader or a force that initially appears benign but ultimately brings destruction. Some interpretations suggest this horseman represents the Antichrist, a figure who will deceive many and lead them astray. Following closely behind is the second horseman, who rides a red horse. This horseman is given a large sword and is granted the power to take peace from the earth, leading to widespread conflict and bloodshed. This symbolizes the onset of wars and global strife, where nations rise against each other in a violent struggle for power. The third horseman arrives on a black horse, carrying a set of scales in his hand. This symbolizes famine, a common consequence of prolonged warfare. The scales represent the scarcity of food and the high cost of basic necessities, leading to widespread hunger and suffering. The imagery here paints a picture of economic collapse and the dire consequences of human greed and mismanagement. The fourth and final horseman rides a pale horse, and his name is Death, with Hades following close behind. This horseman embodies the ultimate fate of humanity, death on a massive scale. This figure is given authority over a fourth of the earth, to kill by sword, famine, plague, and by the wild beasts of the earth. It's a grim reminder of the mortality that all humans face, amplified to an apocalyptic scale. But the book of Revelation doesn't stop with the horsemen. It goes on to describe a series of devastating events, known as the seven trumpets and the seven bowls of God's wrath. Each trumpet and bowl represents a different calamity that befalls the earth, from natural disasters like earthquakes and volcanic eruptions to supernatural plagues and celestial disturbances. These events are said to be judgments from God, poured out upon a sinful and unrepentant world. One of the most striking elements of Revelation is the description of the beast, a fearsome creature that rises from the sea. This beast, often associated with the Antichrist, is depicted as having 7 heads and 10 horns, each symbolizing different nations and rulers that will come together under a single, tyrannical regime. The beast is given authority to wage war against the saints and to conquer them, representing a period of intense persecution for believers. Alongside the beast is another ominous figure, the false prophet, who performs miraculous signs and deceives many into worshiping the beast. This false prophet sets up an image of the beast and demands that everyone receives a mark on their right hand or forehead, known as the mark of the beast. Without this mark, people will be unable to buy or sell, creating a society where allegiance to the beast is mandatory for survival. This mark has been the subject of much speculation and interpretation, often seen as a symbol of ultimate loyalty to evil forces. As the tribulation reaches its peak, the Bible describes the final battle between good and evil, known as the Battle of Armageddon. This great confrontation takes place in the Valley of Megiddo in Israel, where the forces of the Antichrist gather to make war against the armies of heaven. The Bible portrays this as a cataclysmic clash, where Christ returns as a victorious warrior, leading the heavenly hosts to defeat the forces of darkness. This moment marks the end of the Antichrist's reign and the beginning of God's final judgment. The judgment scene is one of the most powerful and sobering parts of the biblical account of the end times. According to Revelation, all the dead, both great and small, will stand before the throne of God. Books are opened, including the book of life, and the dead are judged according to their deeds. Those whose names are not found in the book of life are cast into the lake of fire, described as the second death. This is the ultimate punishment for those who have rejected God and embraced evil. But the Bible also offers a message of hope and redemption amidst the darkness. After the final judgment, Revelation describes the creation of a new heaven and a new earth. The old order of things has passed away, and God himself dwells among his people. There will be no more death, mourning, crying, or pain, for the former things have passed away. This vision of the new creation is a promise of eternal peace and joy for those who have remained faithful. In this new heaven and new earth, the holy city, the New Jerusalem, descends from heaven. This city is described with stunning detail, adorned with precious stones, gates of pearl, and streets of pure gold. It is a place of unparalleled beauty and splendor, illuminated by the glory of God. The New Jerusalem represents the ultimate fulfillment of God's promises, a place where his people will dwell with him forever in perfect harmony. As we reflect on these biblical prophecies, it's important to remember that interpretations of these events vary widely. Some see them as literal future occurrences, while others view them as symbolic representations of spiritual truths. Regardless of how one interprets these prophecies, the underlying message is clear. The end of the world, according to the Bible, is both a warning of impending judgment and a promise of ultimate redemption. In conclusion, the Bible's account of the end times is a complex and multifaceted narrative that has captivated believers for centuries. From the terrifying visions of the four horsemen and the rise of the Antichrist to the final judgment and the creation of a new heaven and earth, these prophecies offer a profound glimpse into the ultimate destiny of humanity. As we ponder these ancient texts, let us be reminded of the enduring power of faith and the hope of eternal life that lies beyond the trials and tribulations of this world. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the apocalyptic visions of the Bible. Stay tuned for more deep dives into the mysteries of faith, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content.